Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We have Ali Moreno here in the studio. Kay Murray. Shaka Hislop decided not to come in today and stay at home for this one.
Oh, really?
Yep, we were saying, where's Shaka? Oh, chilling at home.
Oh, you get to make a choice?
It looks like Shaka does. Favoritism.
Is that how it works?
Yep, I think so.
I didn't know.
Frank LeBoeuf is with us as well. He is actually coming into the studio next week.
Yeah, he is.
Professionalism. Professionalism. First question is...
Yes.
First question for Frank.
The implications here. You are terrible. Terrible.
First question for Frank. For Frank, who's your biggest surprise inclusion and exclusion from your France squad?
Wow. Well, I didn't think through that. I've seen that Luca Dean was very happy, or his kids were very happy that he wasn't picked by the national team. They made a funny video about that. No, really, I don't have any. Oh, Klaus from Marseille, the right back. He wasn't picked, and I was pretty surprised. Didn't see him. And the one was picked. Veretout from Marseille, midfield player. I didn't expect him to be in the squad, but I think if Deschamps made those decisions, it's because they think it's more balanced for his team. So no really big surprises. Let's say a good nice surprise and a sad one for Klaus.
What are we expecting from Griezmann, Frank?
Well, you know, it's funny because you were talking about Maguire in the English segment today and about the fact that he's in the team and why. And you know what? In France, we have a word for that, for those players who are the favorites of the coaches. We call them the chouchou. It means really the favorites of the... it doesn't matter if they're good or not, they're always picked. And it was the case for Dugarry with Aimé Jacquet. It was like Dugarry was put in the first in the list even before Zidane because Aimé Jacquet loved him and for very good reasons. And it's the same for Didier Deschamps. I think, and everybody thinks that Griezmann is Didier Deschamps' son. And whatever he's going to be, whatever he's going to do, he's going to play. And so it's been right, you know, most of the time. But let's say that last year or the year before, people wonder why Griezmann was still on the field. So since it's side for Atletico, I didn't see much of the best of Griezmann. But hopefully, you know, he's gonna show it for the national team and gonna help France to win his third World Cup.
What's the term again? What's the term again, Frank?
Chouchou.
Chouchou.
The chouchou.
Chouchou.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
No, well, I got to tell you something. Our producer today, you know who his chouchou is? Shaka Hislop, who got to stay home today.
Who got to stay home. Also, also remember when we talked about... I think Frank likes saying shoe, because remember when he didn't care about the Golden Shoe Award?
Yeah, it was
the best shoe award.
Yes.
Of course there's a Golden Shoe already, but he didn't care about the best shoe award. I was laughing there, though, because it sounds, Frank, as though you're still harbouring a little bit of upset about Dugarry.
You know what he said? He said, you know, Dugarry was always selected. Dugarry was always selected for obvious reasons, but he was...
No, you know what? I'm going to tell you the truth. I mentioned Dugarry because I didn't want to mention Laurent Blanc because otherwise I knew that he would jump on it. So it's why I said Dugarry because he was a forward player. But there was another name, of course, Laurent Blanc and Dugarry. But that was completely normal, like Didier Deschamps, like Marcel Desailly, like Zidane. There are some names you cannot avoid. But it's true for Dugarry. That was crazy. People were wondering why he's still there. So some people were saying, you know, stupidly that because he was big friend with Zidane, is why he was in the squad. No, really, Aimé Jacquet loved him. Even Dugarry was wondering why he loves me so much. That was so funny.
Shaka, at what point are we going to hold refs responsible for allowing these sorts of fouls to continue on Vinicius Jr? He's been criticised for going down easy, and yet when he is brutalised off the ball, no cards are shown.
I'm not sure why you come to me with that.
Just a Madrid fan chose you.
I don't know why just a Madrid fan chose me, of all people. Listen,
Would you like to help your friend Shaka out, Ale?
Yeah, please, because I don't have an answer for that.
Oh, that's nice. And he gets to stay home to give this sort of analysis. Huh?
He shoo-shooed that answer.
I blame Ali. Ali kept falling over his whole career.
What, Frank?
And now every striker's being penalised for
there
it.
Is,
That's why. It's the Marino
There
effect.
is a fairy tale, you know. I don't know, in France there is a fairy tale saying that there is a little guy, you know, always scaring his parents because he calls, at the time was during the Middle Age, he was calling his parents because he was pretending that he was seeing a wolf. And he was screaming, oh, the wolf is coming, the wolf is coming. So the parents, you know, they started to not believe him. And he knew that it was like a joke. But one day the wolf came really. And he said, the wolf, and the parents didn't believe what he was saying. Stop laughing, Kay, I see you. So why I'm saying that, because there is a metaphor about that. That's if you pretend that you are being caught every time when it's fake, when you're really caught, you know?
Right.
The ref doesn't believe you.
That would be The Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Yes.
I don't just think it was a French fairy tale.
Exactly.
Maybe, but I definitely grew up knowing that fairy tale too.
Is it wolf coming?
If you keep pretending something enough and then it actually happens, no one's going to believe you.
Right. But over the last few weeks,
Voilà.
while I understand just a Madrid fan's position and the observations that they're making, I would also say that Vinicius Jr., for whatever reason, has decided to engage. And if you're a defender and you can't quite keep up with Vinicius when he's running at you, when he has the ball on his feet and he has the focus of going past you and trying to find somebody to combine or score a goal or be productive in the attack, and that is his sole focus, then you have to figure out other ways to impact his game, to change his game. So you're going to challenge him physically. So you're going to challenge him after the play is over. You're going to talk to him. You're going to get behind him and give him a little push, a little shove, a little something that is extracurricular, because you need him to think about you physically rather than think about you dribbling past you. When Vinicius Jr. engages, the defender is winning. Because now Vinny Jr. is no focus on taking on players, he's focused on the fight. And in the fight with defenders, particularly like a guy like Fali today for Cádiz, he's looking at a guy who's 6'5", right? And he's pointing at his finger as if Vinny Jr. is going to do what? What are you going to do? You're going to punch him? You're going to push him? What are you going to do? You're going to get yourself thrown out. Fali is the one that wants you to get in that confrontation. If you just play the game, you're far better than this guy. Just run by him. Don't get caught up in this nonsense. And he's getting caught up in it way too much over the last couple of weeks.
But it's got to be tough, Ale, if you keep getting kicked and people keep coming at you.
And guess what? And you keep scoring goals, and you keep winning games, and you keep getting assists, and you keep being productive. Who's winning?
Okay, so that's the best answer.
Yes.
Shall we make Shaka work?
Well, maybe.
Shaka, you're going to answer the next one, whether you like it or not.
Oh. I thought I got to steal not to answer any questions. I thought that was part
We've
of
had
my
a fairy
deal.
tale off Frank LeBoeuf. You're going to have to raise your game.
Story time. We had story time. We have wolves everywhere. I don't know what to do.
What are the guys' thoughts on Aston Villa's new logo? Do they like it when clubs modernise?
Aston Villa have a new logo.
They do. Here it is, the winning design.
I like that. That's
that Chelsea, that same Chelsea, that's a Chelsea lion. Come on. The copy of the Chelsea lion.
Chelsea have
He
a
likes
lion?
it.
I didn't even know Chelsea had a lion. Oh, I like it. That's not a lion. That's some kind of dragon thingy.
Dragon thing. It's
That's a
wolf.
lion.
No one's going to believe you, Ale.
That's a wolf.
I like it, and I don't mind when clubs modernize, especially if it kind of is in keeping with their former logo. The Juventus one, it springs to mind. That made no sense to me, none.
For Frank, do you think this will be Deschamps' swan song as the France national team manager, so Zidane can come in post-World Cup?
Well, if Deschamps wins or he has a good run, I don't see the president, whose Deschamps is a shoo-shoo of, leaving the national team. But if France doesn't have a good run, yeah, for sure. I see, I think the dream of all French lovers of the French national team will love to see Michel Platini as a president of the French Federation and Zidane the coach of the national team. That will be something big. And that's possible. That can be possible.
So Shaka Hislop is also in here. I'm going to ask this question to you, though, Shaka.
And he has to answer.
He has to answer.
Okay.
Is the fact that players like Tamori, Smalling and Abraham didn't make the England team why more English players don't play abroad?
No, I think the reason that more English players don't play abroad is because they kind of have it easy and are used to English football, to English life, and aren't adventurous enough in going abroad. There are a number of players who went abroad and continue to be called up. So the exclusions this time around, I don't think have anything to do with where those players are playing. It's just more to do with Gareth Southgate sticking with the players that he knows and has trusted and is a little bit unwavering in that regard. I don't agree with it, but that's Gareth Southgate.
For all, surely this should be the last World Cup ever held in mid-season with all the players missing the tournament this year, not to mention all the players who may get injured at the World Cup. Ale, it's a statement, but I'd like your opinion on it.
Yeah, not much of a question. However, I do agree with the fact that this doesn't make any sense. And we know by now all the reasons as to why the World Cup is being held in Qatar, and none of them have to do with player safety or the welfare of the players. And so therefore, look, this makes no sense to break up the year this way, and pre-World Cup reasons, post-World Cup reasons, and the effects that those teams have already had and suffer prior to the World Cup, and the effects that they will have and will suffer post-World Cup. So hopefully this is the end of this. However, money makes the world go around. And people will forget. And eventually time will go by and somebody will come up with a brilliant idea to do this and pay enough money to do so. And it may be a possibility in the future. But certainly I hope that I'm not around for that.
Do you agree with LA, Frank, that this will be perhaps the last time?
I'm not sure about that. With the global warming.
Do you agree with them on the money too?
That's possible that that is possible that some countries. I don't know, because I remember being in South Africa in 2010 and it was freezing. So I don't feel the World Cup could be nice in a country where it's winter also, and you could play in the real summertime. So we'll be in South America, or we'll be in South Africa again maybe, or in any African country. It could be in winter as well, and because it's summer over there and it's a better weather. I don't know, I'm supposing, but everything I think has to be changed, because as Ali said, money talks. Which country, except the next World Cup, but the World Cup after, will be host of the World Cup, and which part of the world it will be. And you have to suit according to the weather of the country as well. So I'm not sure. I'm not that definite as Ali is about the fact that it's the last one that we're going to see a World Cup in the middle of the season.
Not too definite.
It wasn't that.
The money. He said not too definite.
No, I'm not definite. I'm saying that I'm not going to be around.
Yeah.
And I hope to stick around for a little while longer, but hopefully I'm not around to see the next World Cup in the middle of the season.
Well, you won't be around for much longer here. Shaka wasn't around at all today.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.